Let me show you a couple of ways you can protect your product if you are putting another coat of resin, a flood coat. So for this clock, it ended up, I had a few problems with it, so I want to try and put another coat, but I don't want it to go on the back because the back is okay. I've already put a layer of this latex. It's like a glue, and basically all I do for this one is just put a couple of coats. I've already put one coat, and this is my second coat going on now. So that's number one. The second method is to use electrical tape. I've got a clock here that has turned out very beautiful on the front. I've done a couple of coats to get that effect, but what it did was it left some little bits of resin here, which I have tried to sand off, but it's still got the overlap. So I want to put a flood coat on that to finish it off. I've got that here, and I just simply go around. It comes off very easily. Just make sure you coat it. It's a little bit difficult here because I've got the little edges, but just make sure that you go all the way around and just cover those, because if it's going to drip, this is where it's going to drip, right on the edges. I usually go around twice. Now you can get a thicker electrical tape as well, a wider one, but this one is probably easier to manage than a wider one. So I usually go around twice. Hard to see with the black. I should have used a yellow one, but that's hope you can see that all right. That it doesn't take that long to do this, and it just saves you having to worry about drips. Even go around one more time just to be on the safe side, because I've got such a beautiful finish on this side. The last thing I want to do is ruin that. But I'm only just going to be doming the back, so I'm not going to put too much. So there we go. I've got that ready now to put a coat on the back of that. So let's see how this one turned out. I put that flood coat on top, and as you can see, it's all dripped. And this was the piece that I had the latex on, so I will need to cut all this away and then peel off that latex. So I'll cut all that away and then I'll come back. What I should have done was placed it on this. This is a little turntable that I put a bit of electrical tape around it, and the overflow goes onto the mat instead of sitting on the back of my piece. So I would suggest you do that if you're going to do it. I certainly will be doing that next time. I have to continue just cutting off these bits that should have fallen onto the silicone mat. So that's just made a little bit of extra work for me. But there's the latex on the back of that. That just easily comes off. Now if I hadn't had all that problem with that overflow, I'd be able to just now take this off. And there we go. This one is now dry, and it's turned out quite well, in fact very well. So I'm going to now take the tape off. So as you can see, there were some little lumps there where it has dripped, so if I hadn't put the tape on, that would have gone straight onto my piece. So let's see now what happens when we take this tape off. Piece. It has left a couple of little marks there, which are the tape marks, so hopefully I can just get those off with a little bit of warm water and detergent. The last thing I want to do is scratch the surface, because it's a beautiful surface. Now this is where the lumps are. A little bit hard to get off this one. There's a lump there. Okay. And one last piece. There we go. That's pretty good. So all I have to do now is chip away some of these little bits here that overflowed, so that I still have my nice edge, and then I can just sand that back. And I hope that's helped you.